Hey everyone, I wanted to expose a Craigslist scam that's going around. Craigslist, as you know, is a hotbed of these scams, and this particular one is a photography scam. Now, I should tell you that this scam has also been disguised in other items, other type of products, like a clothing scam, etc. Basically, the concept is that it is something that's valuable, that you know is valuable, something recognizable, that they price for much less than it's worth. And they make it very simple, so it looks very legit. And so it's very easy for this particular scam to fool people. Now, for me, I see red flags. There are things that will start to stand out, and my gut will start telling me something. It'll tell me something's not right. And so I never fall for these scams. But unfortunately, a lot of people do. And these scams, they can hurt you pretty badly. Sometimes it could be a little money, sometimes a lot of money. And sometimes it involves stealing your information, your financial information. It's a really awful thing. So when these scams come up and I learn about them, I want to do a video to show you, and hopefully to let you be aware of this stuff so you don't fall for it. Now, this particular scam involved camera equipment. I was looking for some lenses for my camera. I go to Craigslist and I see a camera package. And this camera package was for a Canon DSLR EOS 5D Mark II. Now, if you know anything about cameras, when that camera came out, and for a while, it was a favorite of professional photographers. People love that. I own that camera. I love it. And people still love it. So, it is a valuable camera. Now, when it was new, I paid a lot for it at the time. I got tired of discount shopping, and I was like, you know what, if I'm getting a new camera, I'm just gonna go and splurge on this one particular item, and I'm gonna go for the best one out there. And I did a lot of research. It was like weeks and weeks of this, looking through videos and reviews and listening to other photographers to see generally what do people like, and it was this camera. So the camera right now is worth between $500 to $600. So this person listed the camera for $500, but with 4 different camera lenses. And the camera lenses are all like Canon's best lenses. Each of them worth anywhere from $800 to $1,500, $1,600. Each of them. There's 4 of them here. Plus it comes with the battery, the charger, all original boxes, all original manuals. So it looks great. $500 for all of this? I thought, you know what I could do is I could buy the whole package. I could take the lenses I want. There were 2 out of the 4 that I really wanted. I could swap them with my lenses and sell my lenses and the other 2 lenses with the other camera, and sell that as a package and get $500 to $600 back. So I could just basically break even. And what's happening is I'm getting these lenses for free, or make a profit off it. It seemed like a great deal. That should have been a red flag. So if it's too good to be true, maybe it is, but you just don't know. It could be someone who doesn't know the value of what they have. It could be someone, it belonged to someone else, they died, this person doesn't do their research, they're just selling it to get rid of it. But another red flag should have been that something this valuable had been listed for 20 days. So why didn't anybody else buy it? That should have been a red flag. I was suspicious of that. So I did go into this cautiously. So anyways, that's how the scam starts off. And now I'm going to show you the emails that are involved in it and the whole process and all the red flags that stood out to me. And then what really did it for me when I knew that this was an absolute scam. All right, so I have a little bit of the actual ad here. This is the photo that was in. Looks like a legit photo, doesn't look like it's taken out of a store or catalog. It looks pretty legit. And then it says here, Canon 5D Mark II, and I didn't notice this the first time, so this should have been a red flag for me. And this ACC, short for accessory, it should have been, and these accessories are included in the price, but people make typos all the time, so if it's not all over the place, it's not going to stand out. But they're included in the price. This here is what's interesting. It says, professional photographers selling originally owned Canon equipment in excellent condition. So now that I know, what's part of this scam is that they're telling you basically that the stuff has been well taken care of, that a professional used it. So a professional would definitely take care of their equipment. But they also lie here because of the response that I get. So we'll keep this in mind. So I get the first response after I had contacted them. It comes through like this, directly through Craigslist. Hi, I posted the Canon for my mother, so please send me your email, and she will contact you with more pictures and info. She is the owner. I just helped her to post it. Okay. It really doesn't stand out as any red flags here because it's pretty quick to the point. It's very possible, my mother doesn't go online or any of that, so if she needed help with something or needed to sell something, I would sell it for her. The only thing is that she would let me handle all of it and wouldn't just have me post it. She would have me handle the sales and the whole process. But, this woman, my thought is maybe she just wanted to still directly negotiate and all that kind of stuff. So, no red flags. The only thing that really stood out to me, and I'll call it a yellow flag, was the fact that they didn't use my name. I always sign my name. I always tell people who I am. I don't use my last name, but it seems like common courtesy and something that most people do is respond with your name. Whenever I buy something legit or sell something legit with a legitimate buyer, they'll use my name. So for me, that stood out a little. But it wasn't a deal breaker. It still didn't tell me that this was a scam. It was just more odd to me. So let's mark the time. It was 4:37 p.m. I replied 2 minutes later. Now this next message comes in at 7:07 p.m. Now, in my opinion, and again, I would call it a yellow flag, not necessarily a red flag, but I know in my experience, when I'm selling something or I'm dealing with a legitimate seller, me or that person, we want to sell our stuff fast. We're looking to get the money. We're looking to get rid of it. We want this process over with. So we're going to be paying attention to emails and responding quickly. So when it took a lot of time for them to respond, I was a little suspicious of that. But again, still not thinking this was a scam. So the person responds, Sandra Adkins, has a legitimate email address. So everything looks good there. So we continue. Now, I should mention that there is a broken English here in the first sentence, and that should have stood out to me. It didn't. If I had noticed a lot of broken English, then I probably would have caught on. But this is something definitely that's a red flag if you see broken English. Thank you for your interest in purchased my Canon equipment. So clearly right there, that's just not the proper way. So that would be something to stand out. Then goes through this whole thing. My Canon camera comes in original box, goes and explains it all in detail, blah, 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 blah. Then explains the price is $500. This belonged to my husband, and after he passed away due to a heart attack, I decided to sell it. Let me know if you're interested. Everything that can be seen in photos are included in price. So here's a little bit of broken English. It should have been seen in the photos, but it wasn't standing out to me. I didn't really see any red flags here, except for this part. Hello there. I didn't even consider that a yellow flag. That was like a big warning to me. This is when my gut was telling me, okay, be aware. This might not be legit. Because again, didn't use my name. I've used my name multiple times now. And when I see something like this, it's telling me that what they've done is they have this in a file and they just copy and paste it. The other thing I told you is that it said professional photographers selling photography equipment. Well, there's nothing here that says that this woman's a professional photographer. She's telling me that her husband died and she's the one selling it. So that's a lie. And that was a red flag to me. But I kept in mind, because it wasn't telling me this was a scam yet, that, well, maybe her husband was a professional photographer, and so that's why she put it in the ad. Okay. I respond very simple, like, I'm sorry for your loss. I am still interested in buying this. 500's a good deal. If you're available, I'd like to buy it tonight. I'm willing to come and get it tonight. I felt that this was a great deal, so I didn't want to lose it. Now, this particular email came about a half hour later. Again, when you're negotiating and trying to make a sale, you're going to respond a lot quicker than that. But still, that wasn't totally standing out to me. It just seemed odd to me. But this particular message is full of red flags. And after reading this message, I knew this was a total scam. Hi again. Once again, doesn't use my name. Hi again. Is that how you talk to someone you don't know that you're trying to sell something to? It just didn't sound right. Now you're going to notice that there's a lot of broken English. There's right here. I'm selling this because he had a heart attack and it brings me bad memory. Why are you telling me all this again? There's no reason to tell me this again. I already told you I'm sorry for your loss. It means I know why you're selling it. I understand. So when I see this here, it's like, well, we got to make this seem even more real. We got to make sure we got him. So let's just go and add a little more fluff to it. I had throat cancer and I'm with my daughter. Now, this here is full of broken English. I moved at my daughter because I had a throat surgery, and I will remain here for few months at least. That's not clear English. Who speaks like that? Total red flag. And after reading this sentence, I didn't even need to read the rest. I knew exactly where they were going. They were going to tell me they're out of town, out of state, that they live far. Typical in these scams, and that's exactly what they did. I'm located in Omaha, Nebraska. They took the camera with them. I gave it to eBay. Who will then deliver it to the next owner. The transaction will be made through them for our own safety because I can't deal in person. And then, just to further it, which actually sounded to me like they were doing an ad for eBay, this here, I mean, who would say this? The best part about this is them trying to sell you now. Because they're like, we just got to make sure we make this sound even better. They went over the top. The best part about this is that you'll get 5 days to test the camera. For free, with no further obligation or fees. Hooray! It sounds like an eBay ad. So I knew right then and there, this is just complete and utter nonsense. Total nonsense. And then it goes through, give me your email, your full name, shipping address, blah, 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 so I can initiate the deal through eBay, and they will contact you to explain the procedure. On the invoice, you can find delivery details, payment options, and safety plans. Safety plans? What the hell's a safety plans? I knew right then and there this was fake. I wanted to kind of, at that point, mess with them. So I wrote back and said, yeah, so if you're selling this through eBay, then clearly you have an eBay listing. So yeah, I would like to see that eBay listing so I can respond to that. Anyways, edit all that. So anyways, I knew that this was a scam. I did my research and found that this is a typical scam, a typical photography scam. However, there are other products being sold in the same manner, and it's done exactly this way. The words may be slightly different, or they may be the same. They're probably tailor-made for each item, but typically same process. It starts off with that email from the son, daughter, friend, who is selling it or who wrote the ad for someone else. So that's the initial email to get your email address, so that way it's not going through Craigslist. They get your email address, and then it'll be a series of emails like this, where someone's sick, someone died, they're not located where you are. So I'm guessing if I was located in Omaha, Nebraska, it probably would have shown up as maybe New York City. You know, they're going to look for places that are farther from where you're located. And they would control that by the ad. So they posted in New Haven, so they probably have some kind of New Haven document So, okay, anybody who responds from the New Haven Craigslist ad, because they don't know where I'm actually located, we're going to send them this, which tells them we're in Omaha. So they're going to do all these different things. But it's basically the same exact concept through all of the scams. So you definitely don't want to go any further than this. You don't want to send them your full name, your shipping address. You don't want to send them any kind of financial information. My guess is after this point, actually this is what I heard through a photographer who actually went forward and didn't know this was a scam, that they will send you a legitimate looking eBay page where it'll take your information. So when he saw that page, he knew it was a scam and he didn't go any further, but I saw someone else in this board who actually fell for it and lost $1,700. And also information that they gave. Let's not forget that they gave personal information like this. So it's a fake page that'll capture that sensitive information. And that's how they do it. All right, so there was one more response. I had sent a message once I knew that this was a scam. But I was going to take it a little further to see what the process is. So what I did was just say, please send me to the eBay listing. I want to see the eBay listing. So they write back again. The camera was listed on eBay until 2 days ago when the ad expired. I didn't tell them to repost it because I already have a lot of people contacting me. And then it says, I need to see who is serious or not because I don't like to play games and waste my time or someone else's time. If you want to move forward with this deal, please reply with your full name and address and I will forward your information to eBay so they can email you with all the instructions you need. So after this particular message, I wrote back that, when you die, God has a special place for you in hell where you will burn there for eternity. And I know that people use that as an expression, but believe me, you will burn in hell for what you're doing to people. You are going to pay the price for scamming people and hurting people, you dirty scum. And so that's how I ended it. And of course, when they knew that I had uncovered their scam, they never replied again. All right, that'll do it for me. We'll see you next time.